we're going to look at some of these that I've made in the sample tank. I'm going to isolate these treads so that you can see what they look like. These are a lot different than the ones that we used in the example. They're skinnier and they're more detailed. These are really pretty easy to make. I'm just going to scoot that over. And I made this the same way that I make all of these. Rotate that around a little bit. I think I'm going to hop back over to my 4 screens real quick to drag out this cylinder. I'm going to drag out a cylinder. Just kind of make it about that big. Now we can hop back over to this screen. Make it perspective. And move this guy over here, move him over here. There we go. Okay. In this cylinder, I'm going to make some more sides, so I have some more vertices to deal with. Not a lot. I'm going to go to my front side in this case, because my tank is built on its side. And I'm going to convert that to an editable poly so I can get a hold of the vertices. And this is the same thing that I did in the last tutorial. I'm going to just now move these vertices around. You know what? I just changed my mind. What I'm going to do, I'm going to grab these vertices and I'm going to go to soft selection. I think this would be more useful for you. This is called changing the tutorial on the fly. So the soft selection, I'm going to click use soft selection, and on the fall off amount I'm going to bump this up until I see these rainbow colors, and then I'm going to pull this out. See what that does is it gives me this kind of stretching effect, and I'm just going to model this like clay because I think this will help you a little bit more. There we go. I kind of like that. Just going to pull these guys over a little bit more. That's good. Grab a hold of these guys. We're going to pull them up. And it's just like rubber bands when you use soft selection, which is what I'm after. Grab these pieces here, move them in a little bit. And you have to keep adjusting the fall off up and down to get what you're after. There we go. I think that looks better. I'm going to turn off fall off now, or not fall off, soft selection. And I'm going to rotate this into a better position. There we go. Now, here's what I have so far. You can see what we're after. Okay, and now I just grab pieces of this and I can just move them individually and line them up straight. Just kind of eyeball this so that we can get these into some sort of shape we like. Remember, if we want things to be flat, we can scale them into each other and then move them up. So that's nice and flat there. I'm going to move this over and up, I think. Move this over and down. And I think these two guys need to go forward. I kind of like this shape as working for me. There we go. So we've got a different tread shape, but this one will work, I think, for what we're after. There we go. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to exit isolation mode here real quick and clean up my scene so I can work on those tank treads. I'm just going to grab all of this. Oops. There we go. Just grab all of that. We'll delete that out of the scene. Get this guy. I'm going to zero this out so it's in the center of the scene for me. Okay. Now, we've got this shape. And the way that I made that piece that you saw earlier is I just kind of squished this together and then hopped over to my polygons, and I used good old bevel, which we've used over and over at this point, and I just kind of beveled in a piece. Let me zoom in here so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. There we go, apply. No, 130. And the height's going to push back in. Hit apply again, height 0. And that's pretty good. And now we have this kind of interesting looking wheel well from that type of shape, and then we can wrap our treads around it. So you can make any version of this type of object that you want. Again, remember this middle piece is not an optimized polygon because it started out as a multi-sided polygon, so you probably want to clean that up. But you never know what you'll have to clean up in it because you don't quite know what you're going to do with it yet, so you might want to leave it for a little while. But that's how we create those little wheel well sections. I get a lot of questions on that, so that's how it is done.